Have you ever wondered what really happens the instant you click something on a website? I mean, really thought about it? We're going to dive into that because the journey of that one single click, it's like this incredible, super fast ballet happening behind the scenes.
Just take a look at this. You send a WhatsApp message from your computer, it zips through 7 different layers. It's hitting servers, getting encrypted, decrypted, stored, and then poof, delivered.
And get this, the whole thing happens in under 100 milliseconds. Yeah, that's literally faster than you can blink. So how in the world is that even possible? Well, that's exactly what we're here to break down.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the basic map of any web system. Then, we're going to follow a single request on its wild journey. After that, we'll see how a web page actually gets built. And finally, we'll put it all together to see how you design for like 1 million users, or way, way more.
All right, let's start with that map. This is the blueprint, the absolute foundation for pretty much every single web app you use. It's called the 3-tier model, and honestly, it's the concept that makes the whole modern internet tick. Okay, so here's the key thing to get. A web app isn't just one big piece of code. Nope. It's split into 3 totally separate but communicating layers. And the absolute best way to picture this? Think of a restaurant. You've got the dining room, the kitchen, and the warehouse. This analogy is perfect, right? The presentation tier, that's the dining room. It's what you see, what you interact with. The application tier, that's the kitchen. That's where all the real work, the business logic happens, taking your order, cooking the food. And the data tier, that's the warehouse, where all the ingredients are stored for the long haul. And just like in a real restaurant, you, the customer, you never set foot in the kitchen or the warehouse. Now, here's where this separation is just genius. Think about Amazon on Black Friday. They can instantly spin up thousands of extra kitchens, their application servers, to handle that insane flood of orders. And they can do it without messing with the warehouse, the database, which is way more complex. This ability to scale one part independently is what makes these systems so powerful. Okay, but that's the 30,000-foot view, right? That's the map. So what happens on the ground? How does your data actually flow through these tiers in a real-world system? Let's do it. Let's follow that journey. We're going to trace one single request from the second you click that button to the moment you see something change on your screen. Let's say you click login. What happens? Bam, instantly, your browser and the server do what's called a 3-way handshake. Think of it like a secret, secure greeting to open up a private chat line. Then, your browser sends off an HTTP post request, which is basically just a formal note that says, hey, here's some data, please do something with it. The server checks your info, creates a secret token just for you, and shoots back a message, HTTP 200, the universal signal for we're good, along with your token. And believe it or not, that's just the beginning. A really good way to picture this whole process is to imagine your request is a traveler at an airport. It has to go through a bunch of different security checkpoints before it can get to its gate and eventually fly back home. So checkpoint number 1, the load balancer. This is like the airport's front door. Its whole job is to manage the huge crowd of people coming in, directing traffic so that no single security line gets completely swamped. Okay, so after the front door, the load balancer points you to a specific application server. This is like the agent telling you, please go to lane 5. This is our kitchen from the restaurant analogy. This is where the real work is about to happen. And then the application server talks to the database. It's either grabbing your info, like your user profile, or saving something new. This is the moment of truth. It's like the agent scanning your passport and checking it against the official government database. Only after that check is complete does a response get sent all the way back to you. And the speed here is just mind-blowing. When you fire off a tweet, your request doesn't hit some single giant Twitter program. No way. It zips through this whole chain of tiny, specialized programs called microservices. We're talking an API gateway, an auth service, a content service, a service to fan out the tweet to all your followers. It's like a whole orchestra. And it plays its entire symphony in under 200 milliseconds. It's wild. Okay, so the server did its job. It processed our request. But how does that turn into the actual web page we see on our screen? Well, that brings us to the 2 main ways pages get built. So you've got 2 main flavors here, server-side rendering, or SSR for short, and client-side rendering, CSR. And I love this analogy. Think of it like buying furniture from IKEA. You can get it delivered to your door fully assembled, or you can get the flat pack box and a set of instructions. Server-side rendering, SSR. That's the fully assembled furniture. Your browser asks for the page, and the server does all the heavy lifting. It gets the data, it builds the entire HTML file from scratch, and it sends you the finished product ready to go. Your browser literally just has to open the box and put it on display. Client-side rendering, CSR. That's the Flatpak box. The server sends you a pretty empty HTML file, but it comes with a detailed instruction manual. That's the JavaScript. Your browser then has to read the instructions, go out and fetch all the parts, the data, and then build the page itself, right there on your own computer. So how do we tie this all together? How do you take these ideas, the three-tier model, the way requests flow, how pages are rendered, and actually build something that can handle millions or even billions of people? Well, it really boils down to just a few core principles. You've got that separation of concerns from our three-tier model. You use a stateless protocol, like HTTP, which means every request is treated like a brand new one. You have that incredible ability to scale each part independently, just like Amazon, and you orchestrate tons of little specialized microservices, just like Twitter. And it's so important to realize these aren't just some abstract textbook concepts. This is the real deal. These are the actual blueprints that engineers at places like Netflix, Amazon, and Google are using every single day to build the stuff we all use. So when you step back and look at the whole picture, from that one little click you make to data zipping across the globe to a page appearing perfectly on your screen, you see it's all one big, carefully orchestrated, lightning-fast journey. You know, the modern web really is a symphony of services, with every piece playing its part at just the right moment. So the only question really is, what part of that symphony are you going to build next?